Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, Gabby the game night, yay!
Hey, it's Gabby the Game Night here, and I am back playing some more Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney, Trials and Tribulations, Memphis, and we getting back. Phew, that was close.
Tell me about it. I nearly died in there.
That's my line, sir.
No, it's my line. I think I really did die a little bit.
Looks like we all nearly died in there. I can't believe Detective Gumshoe. How could he betray us like that?
Huh?
He said it'd help me, but he totally set me up.
I don't think he meant to do that, Maggie. He was backed into a corner. I mean, the guy's got to do his job, right?
It's okay, I know all about lies and betrayal. I've had them my whole life. But really hurt this time. It felt like someone punched me hard in the stomach. I hate that guy. I don't ever want to see him again.
Poor Gumshoe. I liked it better when you were just paraphrasing all Phoenix's inner thoughts. So the next witness is going to be the old guy from the park, right? Yeah, Mr. Kudo, lover of waitress outfits and projectile seeds.
I bet he's gonna be really stubborn. I mean, he's pretty set in his ways, you know.
Yeah, he's a big old grouch. Are you going to be able to handle him, Nick? Yeah, I can take whatever he throws at me, even those never-ending bird seeds.
I honestly forget how he did his voice entirely.
Probably just your standard kooky old man voice.
Probably. January 7th, 11:15 a.m. District Court, Column number 4. I'm doing too many voices this case. Is this what it's like being you? Court now reconvene for the trial of Maggie Boyd. Mr. Godot, your next witness, please. The prosecution calls the lucky old-timer who caught the show over a cup of coffee. Will the witness please take the stand? Name and occupation, if you don't mind. The name's Victor Kudo, born and bred in the land of the rising sun. Honor and duty are what makes me, mind you. I'm getting quite emotional at times, too.
We don't need to hear about that, Mr. Kudo. Just tell the court your occupation.
My occupation? God, listen, young'un. How much do you think there is for kimono embroidery here?
Kimono embroidery?
That's what I do, or did, back in Japan. I embroidered family crests on kimonos. My ancestors were embroidering kimonos before this country even existed.
Wow, a real craftsman. They're a dying breed. Hey, maybe you could embroider my costume sometime.
Anyway, like I said, there's not much demand for that kind of thing here. So I take a job working the cash register at a burger joint, pretending to smile.
That burger joint would have been better off putting him in the kitchen.
Now then, witness. Were you in the restaurant at the time of the incident? Oh, yes, I was eating some seeds over a cup of Javasino. Seeds? What do you think these are, I see. So, you saw everything that happened, Gramps? Did I? Oh, yes. Oh, yes, I did. I saw it all. Then please, tell the court what all is. Sure. I'll tell you every last detail.
He's really getting into this.
The young man was reading the sports paper. The servant girl brought him a Javasino, but she put something in it. The man took one sip of it, looked like he was in terrible pain, then collapsed. That's the servant girl, right there in the defense chair. I remember her well. Mr. Kudo, she is not a servant girl. Please refer to her as a waitress. God, you're as bad as the rest of them. All these newfangled words. What's wrong with old-fashioned ones, Newfangled? All this talk of radios and glasses, wireless and spectacles, I tell you. Excuse me? Listen to me, everyone. Don't forget the old values. Don't let the good old days slip away. Well, I think it's time to begin the cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
Yes, Your Honor.
I mean, I press what I feel like is important.
Mr. Kudo, that is a very grave accusation. Are you sure about what you saw?
Victor Kudo never makes mistakes. I dot every T and cross every I.
I see.
My eyesight's fine. The doctor said I would need spectacles for reading and driving.
But his eyes are only really fine when he's scoping out a waitress.
And I saw what the servant girl put into the Javasino as well.
I bet I know what's coming up, and something tells me I'm not going to like it.
Press harder anyway.
I'm sorry. I thought it was going back to him. Your Honor, we need more clarification on what was put into the victim's coffee. I'd like to ask that the witness add what he knows about this to his testimony.
I agree. Witness, will you enlighten us, please? Sure. There's no question about it. She very conspicuously put some white powder in there. Just checking his...
So like cocaine?
Doesn't.
Did she really put that into the coffee?
You doubt me, boy? She took out a small brown ball and sprinkled it in.
Couldn't she have been adding sugar?
Sugar in a small brown ball like that? Like that, witness, could you please describe the ball in more concrete terms? Huh. A bottle like this, perhaps? Oh, there it is, that's the one. That's the bottle of potassium cyanide, I presume. So what the accused put into the coffee? I think it's clear, don't you? Assume I don't have any other white powder.
He took just one sip?
You youngins, you waste everything. Those Javacinos cost $8. In the good old days, we would have drank every last drop in the cup and then died.
And then died.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but it was the emphasis you put on it. He was like, and then die. The guy was gonna die. He was just saying you would do all that first and then die.
Yes.
Yeah, but you're adding... Okay, Phoenix's line just went bye-bye.
Sorry. So it was immediate death. Well, with potassium cyanide, I suppose that is possible. Oh, yes, he sent him down without so much as a twitch. Did he just say he would... I felt the Javasino I just drank turned sour in my stomach. Oh, yes, I know that feeling. And the waitress, I presume she is...
You said, I remember her well, in reference to the waitress. Did she have any particular features that you can identify her by?
Particular features? It's a disgrace, that's what it is.
Sorry?
You can see all the way up to she's practically naked in that uniform.
So the particular feature you recognize about the waitress is her outfit? But anyone could wear just such a uniform. Even me.
Mr. Wright, please spare the court any further mental anguish from that image. God, I won't Photoshop that now.
Don't get all excited, Nick. You've got to keep yourself together.
It'd be kind of hard to Photoshop, though.
I guess I got a bit carried away. You could probably just Photoshop his head on Maya's body. from when she was in the waitress outfit. You might
there are other things I recognize about her, too.
You might could just grab the outfit, too, and put it over Phoenix, but then he'd have, like, blue sleeves hanging out.
Of course I'll press harder.
Sure, you saw a waitress take the coffee over to the victim. But what matters is whether that waitress was Maggie Bird or not.
Quite right. Mr. Kudo, these are the features that you recognize about the defendant. I'd ask you to add them to your testimony. Sure. That would have been Maggie, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I don't know if her apron straps are loose. Doesn't say.
You do seem to remember several details about her appearance. But what about the most crucial detail of all? Her face.
As if I won't remember that. The witness knows the straps in the accused apron. He's unlikely to make a mistake about her face. That's right, I can even tell you the color of the ribbon in her hair. It was red. So you see, there's nothing wrong with the witness's eyesight.
There's no doubt he remembers the waitress pretty well. What should I do? I get the feeling there's something more to this somehow.
Let's ask about the straps.
Mr. Kudo, you seem especially interested in the straps. Why is that?
What?
The ribbon in her hair, the straps on her apron. What's the fascination?
Fascination? People of all kinds of fetishes to fight. We don't need to bust the witness. Listen, you young upstarts! I haven't got some six-strap fish! It's no relevance to the witness's unusual love of straps, Mr. Wright.
I was just curious as to why he was so fixated on the waitress's straps.
I say I haven't got a strap fish! How many times do I have to repeat myself? Very well. Continue with your testimony, Mr. Kudo, and make it strapless.
Do you think old Seedy really saw Maggie do it? Well, he probably had his eye on the waitress the whole time. That's why he was there. But he was there for the cute outfits, right? Not the waitress. I guess. She makes a good point, though. Hey, did I just say something clever? I wonder if the waitress Mr. Kudo saw really was Maggie.
That's what we're looking at.
Huh?
I said, yeah, that's what we're looking at.
I still gotta do my dialogue.
Yeah, no, it's...
That's what we have to figure out, Nick.
Let me go back to that final one and press again. Ask the other question. Tell me about back.
The identifying features you described are all things you would see from the back.
So what?
Is it possible that you like big butts and you cannot lie? You never saw the waitress from the front at all, did you?
Huh. He's got you there, Gramps.
People normally object to contradict something, not to confirm it. I'm just saying. Anyway, people
know is interesting.
People normally talk about facial features when they're asked to describe someone. But this witness's testimony is nothing but straps and ribbons.
And this is harassment. I tell you, I'm not obsessed with straps or ribbons. I just telling you what I saw. Mr. Kudo, the court requests that you add details about any identifying features. Features you observed from the front, that is, to your testimony. Sure, sir.
This old man's testimony is getting longer and longer. And if I can't find a hole in it soon, it'll get even longer, I bet.
Wasn't anything that caught your interest? Like a giant ketchup stain?
Mr. Kudo, I would like you to please take a look at this.
God, that filthy thing would suit filth like you just perfectly. Actually, it reminds me of what my grandson looks like, just after he's done eating.
I guess you could Photoshop that on Phoenix. Have you ever seen this before?
Of course I haven't. Do you think I'd forget something as dirty as that? Well, you have for the clot.
Did you say clot?
I don't know.
I thought I said Claude.
I don't know.
It's
Look
not
like a T.
Okay. Phoenix blood clot. That's the judge's reaction to that. Did you say clot?
What? What is it? Ever since I said you have for a clot, see I said clot,
Okay.
there's been an eerie silence in here.
Mr. Kudo, normally people would call somebody a clod, not a clot.
Do I look like Peridot from Steven Universe?
Well, okay, anyway. This apron is the apron worn by the defendant on the day of the poisoning. And as you just said yourself, you wouldn't forget something like this. Which means I open the court record. And if you had really seen this apron before... Yes, you know what I'm getting at. You couldn't have possibly seen the waitress from the front.
Oops.
That face, though?
Witness, get this oops your way out of this. Huh. Well. Looks like we finally have a genuine file on our hands. Listen, Wright, here are the facts. On the day of the incident, there was only one waitress in the restaurant. That being the defendant, Miss Maggie Bird. Exactly. And when that one waitress put the poison into the coffee cup, this old guy was watching. I hope you understand the gravity of the situation, Mr. Kudo. The fate of the defendant may rest on what you say you remember seeing.
Just tell the court exactly what you saw, Gramps.
You can rely on me, Captain. My dog is in perfect working order. I can't remember a single occasion I forgot what burger our customer was.
He can't remember. Probably more like he messed up so many times he's blocking it out.
Very well. That's just how good your memory and attention to detail is, Mr. Kudo. Tell us what you remember about the victim.
About the victim?
He was another of those pesky young types wearing a broken pair of spectacles.
Broken pair of spectacles?
He had a newspaper in his right hand, and the noisy brat just kept rustling his pages. The young man was listening to the wireless. I remember that well. When the servant girl in question brought over the Javasino, the little fidget picked up the cup with his free hand and took a sip. The testimony we have just heard was just how credible the witness' memory is. It seems to me that I remember the victim in a great deal of detail. Well, yes, I hate those you-know-what types who are so vague about everything.
How are we going to handle this, Nick? We only need to do one thing. We just need to prove the old man's memory is shot. Just trip him up, you mean? Isn't that kind of cruel? I suppose, but that's what I do best. Be cruel. I didn't listen to the song.
Press.
Spectacles?
Dark glasses to you. One, the lenses were green, but the other was broken. No finger rubbish. That's why I remember him so well.
He did have some kind of lens over his left eye, but I wouldn't have called it a pair of glasses.
Seems to have been wearing some rather modern-looking shades. Perhaps I should take to wearing some and rival Mr. Godot's sharp appearance.
Ah, we better come up with something sharp and quick. Guess I'll wait and see if I should challenge him about the spectacles.
Why are we waiting? We should challenge him back.
The newspaper was a sports paper, was it?
That young hooligan, I nearly asked him, can't you even read without fidgeting, How's I supposed to be able to read the back of the page with all that rustling going on? I need to find out if Guts and Braun retained his championship title.
It was his paper, not yours. If you want to know so bad, why didn't you buy your own?
What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you judge me?
Ow! Guts and Braun got beaten yesterday, by the way. Anyway. The wireless.
The decadent young rascal. In my day, it was one or the other. Read the paper or listen to the wireless.
Oh boy.
And using an earpiece. It's Sophist, that's what it is. I was straining my ears, but I couldn't catch any of it.
See that desperate to listen to the radio?
What are you looking at me like that for? How dare you feel sorry for me?
Ow!
Jefferson.
You mean the waitress, who you only saw from behind, right?
You're one of those, are you? You never let anything go, isn't that right?
Maybe.
What's the matter if I saw her from the... Just shut up!
Better not push until I've got some hard evidence. His free hand?
Yes.
Which hand was that?
Weren't you listening for cloth ears? I said it was rustling the newspaper with his right hand, didn't I? If his free hand wasn't his right hand, then...
Ow!
Huh. Perhaps the great Mr. Wright has 3 hands.
Sheesh, I was only asking. None of you gang up on me and treat me like a freak. The whole point of this cross-examination is to establish just one thing. That the old guy's memory has more holes than a slice of Swiss. I guess we just need to find a contradiction in his testimony somewhere, huh? Anything will do. I mean, anything. Now his inner monologue is Maya. Anything will do, even the smallest detail.
No, his inner monologue should be Mia.
We just need one mistake and he's ours. It might be sometimes, depending on how the voice slips.
Okay, so... if his free hand was his left hand, then that little lip stain there wouldn't be there. Because that coffee cup was obviously picked up with the right hand. And as he contorted his left hand in a really weird way. That's the wrong button. I was trying.
Well, you could pick it up without the handle too. To be fair, you don't have to use the handle.
I mean, yeah, but
I do know people who would forego the handle.
yeah. You liar, liar, pants on fire.
Mr. Kudo, do you remember what you were told at the start of this testimony? That this was a way of testing the credibility of your memory?
I know. There's nothing wrong with my memory. I tell you nothing. If I got anything wrong, I'll eat these seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Care to tell us where this is going, Wright?
According to Mr. Kudo, the victim was holding the paper in his right hand, while drinking coffee with his free hand, which would make that his left.
Yeah, what was this, kindergarten?
But I would like the court to please take a look at this.
That's the cup the victim used, correct?
Yes, and on the rim, you'll notice that the mark left by the victim's. You'll notice the mark left by the victim's lips.
Yes, there's a stain left by the coffee.
If you consider where that stain is, you'll clearly see that the victim was holding the cup in his right hand.
But how?
Well, Mr. Kudo, the court is waiting for your epic performance. You said you'd eat those seeds and sing the pigeon song.
Ah! Mr. Kudo, I'm afraid that's simply not acceptable. I think the witness had better go back to the park where he came from. Wait! Think we're going to stand here and listen to you tell me I'm mad? You're wrong. I don't care about that dirty coffee cup. I know what I saw. Still insist on your testimony. That young brat was holding the cup in his left hand. Oh yes, no question. I'm a good law-abiding citizen, I am. It's that dead young hot behind you, you spiky-head yahoo at fault.
Dude, me?
Thank you, old man. We've holding quite enough from you already. Don't call me old man, old man. But for 68 years I have. You can't ignore me. Listen to what I've got to say! I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but...
Sure, why not hear a little more?
Mr. Kudo, my throat is killing me.
But this is my 16th cup of coffee. So this is your final stand.
Thank you, Captain. You can rely on Victor. Left hand, a right hand, a left hand, a right hand. The boy was wearing the earpiece on the same side as green lens of his specs. Kept fanning with it all the time. He was feeling it just like before he picked up the cup, too. I used the same hand to pick up the cup, his left hand.
We know that the victim was wearing an unusual monocle over his left eye. It wasn't a monocle, Your Honor. It was a scouter's shell power level. It was a small computer monitor, often used by programmers.
A monitor? Mean like a television screen?
The inside of the lens is a screen that displays computer data. It's called an HMD. It's a common tool in the victim's line of work.
HGTV, DVD, CD, all these newfangled things drive me mad, but they don't matter. I know what I saw and I'm telling the truth.
It's true. It doesn't seem to be lying.
And those are the facts in good old black and white.
I had a black and white TV in my bedroom growing up. And then I got a color TV after the hurricane destroyed my swing set. So, the victim was wearing an HMD?
HDTV, CD,
Wait, didn't we do
DVD,
this?
what does it matter?
There was none of them actually, but anyway.
HDMI?
And you're sure that he was wearing the earpiece on the same side?
No question, I go and see that side of his head from where I sit.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious if you look at the floor plans. From the opposite table, you'd only have a view of of that side of the victim's head. It seems you kept an eye on Mr. Glenn Elg.
It was getting on my nerves, rustling that newspaper and filling with his earpiece all the time. And then he went and made up all that fuss dying from one sip of Travisio. I wanted to say to him, calm down, young brat. Just look at him, made me suddenly speed up my seating. I could have choked.
So I take it the victim was a walking ball of nervous energy. The earpiece you mentioned, which hand did the victim touch it with?
You're one of those people, aren't you? You're the type that use your left hand to get things out of your right pocket. Or fasten your left cuff with your right hand.
I'd like to see you fasten the cuff of your jacket with the same hand. That'd be pretty talented.
When the tour guide says, on your right side, you'll see the famous blah blah. You're the only one who deliberately looks left, well, aren't you?
No, I didn't mean.
Obviously, he used the stand on the same side as bike that the earpiece was in!
So if he had the HMD on his left side, then I guess it was his left hand, I guess?
And they use the same hand to pick up the cup as left hand!
You seem very sure of yourself, Mr. Kudo.
That's because I know I saw him out what tricks he tried to play on me.
Looks like he really did see the guy picking up the cup with his left hand. This is dead end. Well, Nick, what do you think? I think the guy's telling the truth. But even so, something's not quite right. And chuck evidence at him until he breaks. But if he's not lying, there wouldn't be any contradictions in his testimony, right?
Well, that doesn't tell me much.
Something about the left eardrum being ruptured? Oh, I don't know. I guess that would cause a contradiction.
I mean,
Oh, wait, if his eardrum was ruptured, he wouldn't be wearing an earpiece in it because he wouldn't be able to hear it.
that's the wrong button.
I'm not sure what the relevance of this is, but... Mr. Kudo, there is something very strange about your observations of the victim.
What?
You say he was wearing the earpiece on the same side as the HMD.
No question, you can lock me up on more. Give us a left ear, without doubt. I can only see that side of his head from where I'm sitting.
I don't think so.
What did you say?
You're no doubt unaware of this fact, Mr. Kudo. But the victim couldn't hear with his left ear. His eardrum was ruptured.
Eh?
Traces of medication for his condition were found in his ear canal. That's right, it's impossible that the victim was wearing his earpiece in his left ear. Because he couldn't even hear in that ear.
Is that true, Captain?
It is.
Pigeon! Pretty pigeon! Order, order, order!
This witness's testimony is completely unreliable. He only saw the waitress from behind. And he claims the victim was wearing an earpiece when we know his eardrum was ruptured. Well, Mr. Godot?
A single drop of milk is all it takes to destroy the pure black magic in the cup. This old man is my drop of milk.
Captain, are you calling me a drip?
In the victim's coffee cup, there is the potassium cyanide found. The rock in the room clearly shows that the victim picked it up with his right hand.
I'll never back down, I know I'm right. The lad drank his Dravacino with his left hand.
Let me pull you out of your misery. Clearly, the victim used both hands. He took a sip of the cup in his right hand, and then switched to his left. That's what the old man saw.
Impossible. The witness has already testified on numerous occasions that the victim died immediately after taking just one sip of the coffee.
Which hand the victim used to pick up the cup is irrelevant, Your Honor. The facts still stand. With the one hand or the other, Mr. Allen drank the poisoned coffee. Like this.
Sadly, Mr. Godot, that doesn't wash. The point of the testimony was to establish whether the witness's memory is credible. And the results are clear. The testimony given by this witness is useless.
I believe it is time to conclude today's proceedings. I am satisfied that the witness is not deceiving the court. But to be frank, his testimony is a farce.
Did you have to be so frank? Take that, you pompous old faggy.
I'm sorry, Mr. Kuo. You can't reach me from there. I'm ordering the defense and the prosecution to investigate this case further. That's all for now. This court is adjourned.
Oh, come on. Wait! If we stop now, where does that leave me?
Leave you, Mr. Kudo?
Thanks to that blue-suit young upstart over there. I'm just a bumbling old man carrying dynasties across his eyes now.
How is your bad memory my fault?
I'm sorry, Mr. Kudo, but there's nothing I can do.
I've kept my mouth shut until now. But there's something else the court should know.
Why you fucking... What?
There's more?
To be perfectly honest, it might not be anything. But I want another chance, another crack at you, young shark.
Me? He's looking like I'm some sort of evil shogun.
Right, everyone? What do you say to one file showdown? The file trapped in this eccentric old man's scrapbook.
Sorry, Gramps. I've already had my 70th cup of coffee.
What have you got to lose, Captain? I'll give you all the Jefferson you want if you come to my house after the trial. I may be 60 years old, but Victor Kudo's still mad.
That's enough, witness. I believe it'll be quicker for the court to just hear your testimony.
You bet! Much quicker!
I can't believe this is happening.
Ha! You better get ready, youngster!
I get the picture. Just quit throwing those seeds at me, would you? He's gotta be using some sort of infinite ammo code with that box of seeds.
Ha. Ha ha. Ha 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 ha. It's the final showdown.
First of all, I want to stress that this might be nothing. I'm not too sure of myself. The young boy slumped over the table as soon as he took one sip of his Javassino. Well, the clumsy idiot upset the vase. He knocked it right over. It broke and the strip of cloth covering the table got completely soaked. Well, how about that? Turn things upside down,
Is that all?
Yes, that's all. I remember it perfectly. Hey, you doubting me again? You're doubting a poor defense's old man?
No, we are not doubting you, Mr. Kudo.
Don't you get the feeling there's a question hanging on everyone's lips, Nick? Yeah, so what? Probably. That's all I can think of, and I have to cross-examine this guy.
You butt-brain! That's all you can think of.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Your full cross-examination, please. Can't go to person that has problem. Yeah, I know that. Let's talk about the face.
A vase, you say? I would have said vase, but
Same thing.
I think a vase is an expensive vase.
This is the same thing.
It's a vase, motherfucker.
Yes, there are vases all on all the tables in that place. The accident's ready to happen. They practically banged me knocked over.
Well, he's right about there being vases. I do remember seeing them, too. Oh, I'm sorry. There was a vase on the table when I ate lunch there. And you saw the moment when the victim actually knocked over the vase?
Well, it's hard to say. It's very clear. How do you really define?
Okay, I get it.
I heard a break in the side of a bone in my memory clear as day.
Soaked in water, you mean?
Yes, it splashed me on the knee as well.
You said you were sitting at a table across the room from the victim, correct? And yet, the water still managed to splash onto you?
It was cold. I clearly remember it splashing me.
Could the water really make it all the way across the other side of the room? You mean the vase on the victim's table falling upside down and breaking?
The vase turned upside down, and my testimony is turning this case upside down. It's a joke. I just want everyone to hear it. What do you think, Captain?
I'm impressed by your ability to waste time.
Godot hasn't raised any objections for a while now.
So young sure, but that's how I'm raised. I'm throwing down the gauntlet. If I lose this one, I'll take it like a man at defeat.
He's really giving you the evil eye, Maya. It's you he's looking at, Nick, not me. It's like he's saying, I triple dog dare you to find a contradiction, young'un. I guess I'll just have to rise to the challenge, then.
I'm ready to press this.
The court generally prefers if witnesses are sure of themselves, Mr. Kudo.
Noisy brat! I'm on you. I'm more savage than a macho man right now.
Oh, yeah.
You won't beat me with this testimony. This is the foul pal.
Yeah, ooh. He's chucking those seeds harder than ever. I better be careful. Come on, Nick. Nail him. What if Nick's inner monologue was Randy Savage? The court has already heard that testimony, Mr. Kudo.
I know that. I just sang the mood. I was just well build up the suspense,
The suspense?
Yes, now what do you think? Should I work the audience a bit more?
No, please continue, Mr. Kudo, as quickly as possible.
Alright, now where was I? Ah, yes. The young boy jumped over the table and knocked him right over. And he got completely soaked.
Well, a couple things. A lottery ticket and a sports paper that are both not completely soaked. Everything else that's not completely soaked. The crime photo, but it's very obviously not knocked over and nothing is soaked.
Mr. Kudo, this is a photograph of the crime scene.
So what?
Look carefully at the table. The vase is there, intact.
Huh?
Lost your tongue, Granddad?
I'm no granddad of yours, hopscotch!
Ow, ooh!
Enough! If there are any more seeds in this courtroom, the cleaners will be here all night.
Ah!
What is it now?
I just remembered something.
Yes, go on.
The broken vase. It was on my table.
What?
Well, you see. It startled me when that young lad collapsed. So I stood up. That must have been where it fell over. The vase on my table, I mean.
The vase on your table?
Yes, it was on my table. And that's how my groin came to be completely soaked.
Thank you, Mr. Kudo. You've certainly earned your kudos for today.
I'd like to ask a question now. Have I been any use at all?
Perhaps that's something you should reflect on yourself, Mr. Kudo.
Oh, wait a minute. If that's the case, there's more I've got to say. Oh, yes, I remember something else.
Bailiff, escort the witness out of the courtroom.
Wait, listen to me.
Well, you seem to have been considerably sidetracked. I'm still not in a position to deliver a verdict. The defendant has not been positively identified as the waitress in question. Additionally, there are two disparities in the testimony that we have heard thus far.
The mark on the coffee cup that the victim supposedly drank from with his left hand. and the earpiece which was inserted into his left ear, out of which he couldn't hear. Wow, Nick, you did it!
I therefore require both the defense and the prosecution to further investigate the facts. But literally was on that last section.
Yes, Your Honor.
There's one more thing before I call today's session to an end.
One more thing, Your Honor.
The witness we just heard from. He's most insistent that his testimony should be of use. So summarize it accordingly into the statement.
Okay.
You may each have a copy of it if you wish. Whatever. The prosecution doesn't need props like that.
Cadeau's really mad, huh? Yeah, I would be too.
Very well. Here you are then, Mr. Wright. I have 3 copies, my own, yours, and Mr. Cadeau's.
Yes, Your Honor.
Both of you. Say it's all.
I'm sorry. This isn't a piece of testimony. More like a 5-year-old's apology. What the heck are we supposed to do with 3 copies?
That is all. This call is adjourned. Thanks for watching this episode. Gabby the Game Night. Like, subscribe, because every single bunny.
Claude, not clot. 2 different things.
Good night.
Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, Gabby the Game Night, yay. Come on and watch her play. New games every other day. If you subscribe now, you won't miss out on any of the action. So come on, click that subscribe button.